Hello, ni hao, bonjour, konnichiwa, hola, habari, mulishani, and wagwan. Welcome to Beyond Borders podcast. If you're new here, I'm your host, Dr. Charity Campbell-Kapela, known in the travel space as Doctora the Explorer, but mostly known as Dr. CK. Here at Beyond Borders, I share transformative travel experiences and cultural insights and help you see that cultural intelligence touches every part of our lives. Hey, my fellow empowered explorers. Welcome to episode 7 of our Beyond Borders podcast. Today's episode is part 3 of our 8-part mini-series, and we're continuing our journey on how travel cultivates your cultural intelligence. That's that essential skill that allows you to navigate diverse environments with confidence and empathy. Now, if you're a driven, globally minded professional like most of my listeners, then you know that cultural awareness is the key to unlocking new opportunities, building meaningful connections, and thriving in our increasingly interconnected world. So today, we'll uncover how travel can help you gain a deeper understanding of cultural nuances, challenge your biases, and develop that adaptability to succeed in any setting. So whether you're a seasoned globetrotter or maybe you're just starting to dip your toes into the world of cultural exploration, this episode is for you. As someone who's been fortunate enough to explore over 30 countries, and if you know me, then you know that most of these trips have been solo. It's been by myself before I became a wife and a mommy. I can't stress enough how crucial cultural awareness is. But what exactly is it? So simply put, cultural awareness is the ability to recognize, understand, and appreciate different cultures and perspectives. It's about being open-minded, empathetic, and then willing to learn from those who are different than we are. Now, let me share a quick story that really drove this home for me. If you are new to my podcast or new to me, I was living in China. I lived in China for 5 short years. And a few years ago, I was a partner for an organization development startup in Beijing. Now, despite my preparation, I made a faux pas by talking about business at dinner, which is a big no-no in Chinese business culture. For me, if you call something a business dinner, I'm thinking we're going to talk about business, right? Absolutely wrong. It is a no-go, and it is actually frowned upon. So my senior partner graciously explained the proper etiquette, and from that moment on, I learned my lesson. You have to build a connection and relationship that in turn creates what is called guangxi. So in Chinese culture, guangxi is this type of, if I could say, it's like, you have favor with people. So one hand washes the other in a way. And you don't create this type of connection, this type of relationship by talking about business at dinner. Dinner or lunch, whatever type of professional meal is going to happen, is specifically about getting to know the other people on a personal level, on that connection level. So if you're not someone who drinks alcohol, or for me, I didn't drink beer at that time. Baijiu is like the thing, okay? They're baijiuing it up, like drink beer, here. But if you have, for whatever reason, if you're not a person who drinks beer, you don't have to. I'm so grateful that they still accepted me. Now, I did drink wine because I loved some wine. That was before I became a mommy. But I did have wine occasionally at these, gatherings, these dinners. But it was more so about, in a way, I don't even want to say it was team building, because when we think of team building exercises, we're also thinking about business, right? We're thinking about office, we're thinking about management, all of these things. But really, it was just about getting to know those who you work with, your colleagues, your partners, on a more personal level. And so that experience not only saved me from future embarrassment, because I mean, we were having these dinners and lunches all the time. And so after that very first embarrassment, because it was embarrassing, after that very first embarrassment, I never made that mistake again. And more doors opened to more meaningful connections and business opportunities moving forward because I was now culturally aware of the proper etiquette when you're sitting down, at a meal with it could even be a prospective client, but you don't talk about business at that time. Now, I had no idea about that until I did, and then I learned from my mistakes. But for professionals like you, whether you're lecturing at international conferences, collaborating on global research projects, or leading diverse teams, cultural awareness is going to be your secret weapon. Okay. It helps you navigate tricky social situations like I found myself in, build stronger relationships, and ultimately excel in your career. Plus, if you're a solo traveler, this can be an invaluable tool for staying safe and making the most of your adventures abroad. Now, I know you might be juggling a lot from work pressures to personal goals, but investing in cultural intelligence pays dividends in both your professional and personal lives. Now, it's not just about avoiding cultural missteps. It's about enriching your experiences, broadening your perspective, and connecting more deeply with the incredible diversity that our world has to offer. So, the next time you're planning that dream trip, to Cambodia, I have an international conference that my abstract was accepted to present at the conference next year, a few months away. And so I'm pretty excited because I haven't been to Cambodia yet. It was on my 2020 list of countries to travel to, but then COVID. I'm telling you, that pandemic just really, really, really threw a wrench in my Southeast Asia travel plans. But look at it. I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready to head out that way. So I'm super excited about that. But whether you're preparing for, an international conference or planning just your dream solo trip, remember a little cultural awareness goes a long way. Okay. Now, it just might be the key to unlocking those meaningful experiences and relationships that you're seeking. So, I just want to talk a little bit more about developing cultural awareness through travel. Solo travel in particular was a game changer for me, and it could be for you too. Without the crutch of having a travel companion, we're forced to confront our own biases and assumptions and adapt to new customs and traditions in a way that's both humbling and empowering. I can recall my own experiences, not just in China, but even in Europe, where I was initially taken aback by the vibrant colors that I witnessed, even in Oslo, Norway, during the day and even at night. I mean, where it was like 10, almost 11 p.m. at night, and it looked like it was about 3:45 p.m. Okay. I mean, just literally blowing my mind. And all of this, I began to notice that, this is something that was totally different than what I was accustomed to, than what I was used to in America. And if it honestly was as if I had entered a new dimension, one where my preconceptions were gently stripped away. And I was left with a sense of wonder, curiosity, and amazement. Now, I will tell you that travel encourages cultural awareness in so many ways. For one, it exposes us to new customs, traditions, and ways of life that challenge our assumptions, broadens our perspectives, and it really forces us to adapt. I talked about adaptability a few episodes ago, and how, being forced to adapt and be open minded can actually be uncomfortable at times, but ultimately it leads to a deeper understanding of the world and all the diverse types of inhabitants that we have. So, these meaningful interactions with locals are another key aspect of cultural awareness. Whether it's sharing a meal with a family in, Monterrey, Mexico, or practicing yoga or Tai Chi in Dalian Park, that's in China, or simply striking up a conversation with a stranger in a Spanish cafe. These encounters not only enrich our experiences, but also help us reflect on our own biases and assumptions. So, as I reflect on my own travels, I'm reminded of the countless moments when I felt like an outsider, struggling to navigate unfamiliar languages and customs. But it's precisely these moments of discomfort that have taught me the most about cultural awareness. By embracing the unknown, we can develop a greater sense of empathy and understanding and return home with a newfound appreciation for the complexities of human experience. Now, I want to share a few practical tips for cultivating cultural awareness. I've learned that true cultural awareness goes far beyond just ticking destinations off your bucket list. It's about developing a deep, empathetic understanding of different perspectives and experiences that shape our world. And the good news is, you don't even have to be a seasoned globetrotter to start your cultural intelligence journey. One of the easiest ways to broaden your horizons is to seek out diverse cultural experiences right in your own backyard. You can attend local festivals, visit ethnic restaurants, or even join a community group that celebrates a culture different from your own. When I was in China, we use WeChat. So we would have these different WeChat groups that would allow us to connect with locals and expats who, most of the expats were from all over the world, obviously, but we would get together. We would have these potlucks and these dinners. And actually, for the month of November, I'm focusing on community, building community, and sharing that sense of gratitude that I had because mostly every country that I lived in, not, just visited, but the ones that I lived in for an extended period of time, I was very grateful and fortunate enough to build community with different expats from all over the world. You have them from Africa, from Europe, from North America, and South America, and the Caribbean islands. So being able to connect with these amazing individuals and having, the opportunity to celebrate cultures that are different from my own, it was such a valuable experience. And you can be able to do the same. Even if you haven't traveled to all these other countries, there are some people from other countries living in your city. You can connect with them. And these immersive encounters allow you to engage with traditions, customs, and ways of life that may be vastly different from your own. Now, again, like I said, not everyone has the privilege of extensive international travel, especially maybe in this season of your life. But in our digital age, the world has never been more accessible. You can dive into literature, films, podcasts, that offer a window into other cultures. You can follow social media accounts that showcase diverse perspectives. I would maybe say don't binge too much on influencers. There's nothing wrong with influencers, travel influencers, but I will tell you that it is a curated perspective. You're not necessarily getting, the nitty gritty, the down and dirty with some of them. Now, you do have some travel influencers who are absolutely very raw and honest and open and transparent. They're not just showing you the highlights or the reels, like I said, the curated, all the perfect and the glitz and glam, because honestly, that's not what cultural intelligence is about. But you can follow these social media accounts. You can engage with other cross-cultural mediums that can help you cultivate a deeper understanding and appreciation for perspectives beyond your own. And when you do have the opportunity to interact with people from different backgrounds, approach each encounter with an open mind and a genuine curiosity. You can practice active listening, ask thoughtful questions, and resist the urge to make assumptions. Because that's a big one. Okay. Put away your phone, maintain that eye contact, and then ask open-ended questions so that you can understand their perspectives. Don't be afraid to share your own stories and experiences either, because you'll find that most people from other cultures are so inquisitive. They're very curious. They want to know more about you and where you come from. So we're just returning the favor, right? We're having that mutually beneficial conversation that says, thank you for being interested in my culture, but I'm also interested in yours too. I want to learn more about you. And then we have to realize that we need to be patient in understanding cultural nuances. These types of understanding, they do not happen overnight. They do not happen overnight. For me, even when living in China, there were some things, some concepts that I just didn't grasp right away. I had to be immersed in the culture before I could fully understand them. And I also had to make sure that I didn't make those assumptions or cast judgment because the culture was so different from mine. We have to suspend judgment and embrace empathy. That allows us to create space for meaningful, enriching exchanges. And I'm telling you, you will be all the more a better person for it. This approach has helped me build meaningful connections with people from diverse cultures, from debating politics with a Ghanaian expat during a potluck that I had, to sharing travel tips with fellow solo travelers at the Dubai International Airport. I mean, all of these connections, they contribute to your gaining cultural awareness. And lastly, I want you to reflect on your own cultural identity and how it shapes your worldview. Acknowledge the privileges and the biases that you may hold and be open to learning from others. Recognize that cultural awareness is not just about appreciating differences. It is also about understanding how your own culture has influenced your perspectives and values. So by applying these tips, you can develop your cultural awareness without having to travel extensively, especially if you're not able to in this season. But remember, every cultural experience, no matter how small, can broaden your horizons and foster a greater appreciation for the diversity that makes our world such a vibrant place to live. Now, I want to tell you that through my travels, I have come to deeply appreciate the incredible value of experiencing diverse cultures firsthand. No textbook or online course has ever fully captured the nuances, traditions, and customs that made each culture unique for me. But by immersing myself in new environments and engaging with local people, I've gained a level of cultural awareness and empathy that has profoundly shaped my worldview. Now, whether it's learning about the intricate tea ceremonies in Hangzhou, China, which is still one of my favorite cities to live in China. It's just super duper hot, but it is one of my favorite because the technology is on 10. You hear me? Witnessing the vibrant festivals in Vietnam, or simply sharing a meal and conversation with a family in Monterrey, Mexico, these direct cultural experiences have opened my eyes in ways that, honestly, I never could have anticipated. I've developed a much richer understanding of how different values, beliefs, and ways of life can coexist in our global community. Now, this heightened cultural intelligence has made me a more thoughtful, adaptable, and empathetic person. I'm now better equipped to navigate cross-cultural interactions with sensitivity and, most importantly, respect. Because my travels have instilled in me a deep curiosity and appreciation for the incredible diversity of the human experience. And I know that continued exploration and learning will only deepen my cultural awareness and understanding even further. So if the same is true for me, I believe that the same can be true for you. If you have the opportunity to experience new cultures firsthand through travel, I highly encourage you to embrace it. The personal growth and global perspective that you'll gain are truly invaluable. After all, there's no substitute for hearing, seeing, tasting, and feeling the world beyond your own familiar borders. Listen, want to thank you for listening to Beyond Borders podcast. I can't express my gratitude enough. It humbles me to know that you tune in every week to learn from me. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the Beyond Borders podcast. Download today's episode, rate, comment, and share so we can ignite a cultural revolution all across the globe. I also invite you to connect with me on YouTube, Pinterest, and my newest adventure, Substack. Let me know what kind of cultural insights and travel experiences you'd like to see more of. Also, if you have any questions or would like to be a guest on the show, please email me at charity@drtheexplorer.com and someone will respond in a timely manner. Thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, remember to keep your mind open and your suitcase ready. See you in the next episode as we go Beyond Borders.